I certainly think I don't care if Man United put him up for 5 million. I just want him gone. I know it's a bit stupid to say, but he's not in the future of Man United. He can't be he's not in Ten Hag's plan. I can't see him nowhere near Man United yet, and I just want him gone. There's no captaincy. Erik Ten Hag, he's going to have a chat with him, but hopefully with the captaincy, and maybe already have, but he's got to go. He's got to go.
It's interesting, Lewis, because we're hearing that Ten Hag will have a chat with him this week. There's also some rumours going around that Newcastle and Manchester United could be fighting it out for a French centre-back at Monaco that United have been rumoured to be interested in for quite a while. Victor Lindelof is not for sale. Varane and Martinez are first-choice centre-backs. It's not looking good for Harry Maguire, but you hit a great point there. You'd sell him for 5 million. And I think if you're Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, you cut your losses and you go. But this is the problem of the Glazer ownership, isn't it? We are in debt. Every player we buy is probably listed against that debt. He's on £200,000 a week. He's an £80 million signing. We can't get past that mistake now. And Manchester United are just not very good at selling. We as fans know what players should go. And you're quite right to say, just cut your losses and get rid of him. The problem is when you're in that much debt, it's very difficult for United to remove these types of players, which is infuriating because it's basically handbrake football.
Yeah, definitely. I totally get what you mean. It's just talking about the Glazers. I want the Glazers. I don't know why or how long it's taken. It's horrible, and it's all because it's like a domino effect. It all leads up to the Glazers. Maguire can't go because of the Glazers. The recruitment, everything that leads up to the football players. It's all because of the Glazers, and I just want Maguire gone. Like I said, it's that simple. But obviously, to Man United, it's not. It's not simple at Man United. It's just not. So it's just, I honestly, it's just, I say in my head every day, and it's just also watching your podcast. It's just, I don't know what to say. Honestly, I just want Maguire gone. It's ridiculous.
Thanks, Lewis. It's interesting, isn't it? Yesterday was the end of David De Gea's 12-year reign at Manchester United. He came in, he had a bit of criticism because he apparently wasn't strong enough. He had 10 really good years and he left with a bit of criticism. And it was ruthless from Manchester United against somebody that many Man United fans felt didn't deserve that, didn't deserve to be treated like that, didn't deserve to go off on holiday thinking there was a new contract there and then come back from holiday and not be back at pre-season with his mates. Bruno Fernandes basically said it, didn't he, on Instagram? Didn't deserve that, deserved to be, getting a proper sending off from the fans. And yet, there's players at the club who really haven't got anywhere close to what David De Gea achieved and could be jetting off to America in a couple of weeks, still taking a living from Manchester United because the club aren't able to get rid of them. And people say getting rid of David De Gea was ruthless. He was out of contract. All you had to do was send him on holiday and not answer his WhatsApps. And it's like, yeah, there's no place for you anymore. I mean, some might say that's how United did it because we just can't sell players. We've got another caller coming in. It's Richard. He says David De Gea was poorly treated. Richard, give us your thoughts on that whole David De Gea saga because it was confusing to me what went wrong there.
Good evening, Mark. So,
hi, mate.
First, great to talk to you. I've been going to see Manchester United since 1966. I've seen them all. I've been watching from Harry Gregg onwards. I've seen all the great keepers at United.
And that's a great keeper. I mean, that's a long time to be going, Richard. And we have, you're right. Harry Gregg back from the Busby Babes and through to, for me, it started with Schmeichel. Then we had Van Der Sar and we had David De Gea. What do you think about where United are going to go now? Because some people just think it's as easy as replacing your goalkeeper at United. And we found with Schmeichel that it's not always like that.
No, Massimo Tabai would tell you that, Mark.
Yeah. Bosnich, Bartes.
Yeah. As a Manchester United fan, how we've treated David is not the Manchester United way. I am very, very disappointed in how we have treated David De Gea. Think what you want about him. He has been a great servant to our club and I think he deserved a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it was just, I don't know, what do you think actually happened, Richard? Because it looked like he was going to sign a new contract. Then we got all these rumours about Onana and he wasn't going to be a new contract. United are now saying they never offered him a contract. So if you never offered him a contract and you knew he was going to go, why didn't you just tell the fans and let us have that last game where I think it was Fulham, where he could have just, gone and everyone, it looked very impersonal yesterday as well. It looked very impersonal. It didn't look like they'd had many chats with him. Maybe the truth will come out in time, but I just don't really get what went wrong.
Mark, I'll tell you what it is. And it's been the same thing since the Glazers took over. Lack of communication. There's no communication within our club anymore. And I'm sorry, these people, my God, I hope that I like Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I think he's a great businessman, but I hope he doesn't get the deal because I do not want the Glazers involved with our club in any way. But I have to say, Mark, do you know what? I also blame the Edwards because the Edwards should never have sold the club to the Glazers.
Yeah, well, hopefully that'll come to an end soon. Richard, thank you very much for your call. Been watching United since '66. Doesn't like the way they treated David De Gea. Let's have a change. We are taking your calls on everybody. 03717 22 3344. I was speaking about Arsenal at the start of the show. Liam's an Arsenal fan. We're going to take his call now. He feels that they need a striker. We're talking about this, Liam. Arsenal, good transfer window, but you'd like a little bit more.
Yeah, no. For the first time, being an Arsenal fan, like 100 million for a player, it's just what we've dreamed of, really. Ever since we moved to the Emirates, we got promised, be excited. We're going to compete with the sort of top clubs in Europe, and for the first time, obviously coming close to win the league, and then the transfer market we've had so far. I think Timber coming in, really going to strengthen up our defence. I think finally we've got a decent goalkeeper. Our defence is looking, with Saliba now signed a new contract, I think our defence is looking solid. Our midfield now with Rice, obviously still to be confirmed, but I still think up front, I don't think Jesus is the striker that's going to win us a league. I love him. He's a great player. He's probably going to get you 15, maybe 20 goals a season, but he's not going to be a striker that's going to win you the league. So I think, obviously, Kai Havertz, we know he's not a striker. I don't think that's what he's been brought in for. But I think if we're going to challenge, we need to go out and get a world-class striker. And then I do actually believe we can win the Premier League.
Do you think that's on the agenda, Liam? I saw something about Balogun, who's had a good loan, potentially going for good money. Doesn't look like he'll get a chance. Do you think that's on Arteta's list now, or do you think it's more likely that he's going to try and get another midfielder in with Xhaka gone? And we don't know what's happening with Thomas Partey.
I just don't know. I just think over 200 million spent. We're still looking at Lavia, which I don't think we're going to get if Partey is going to stay. I don't know. You're not going to get a 30-goal striker for 50 million, are you? You're going to have to go out and spend that 100 million. And I just don't know if he's going to do it. It'd be great, but I just can't see it now. I think we've spent our money. We've got our transfers in. I'd give Balogun a go. I really would. Like, he's been banging them in France. He's doing well for the USA. Get him back and let's give him a go. Because Nketiah's okay, but he's not going to again win you the league, is he? So I really do think we need to give Balogun a go. But unfortunately, I want to say we're going to buy a striker, but deep down, I don't believe we are in this transfer window.
Thank you very much, Liam, there. It's interesting, isn't it? We spoke about Chelsea. I think they need a striker. No one's going to give... Spurs aren't going to give any Premier League club a striker. United need a striker. Arsenal could probably do with a striker. And Man City, who are head and shoulders above everybody else, has just got that striker who can just score 3 hat-tricks in a row if he needs to in 3 games. It's almost what everybody else needs at the moment. We're going to speak to Spurs, Chris, who's a Spurs fan after the break. He would take Harry Maguire. But just going back to Chelsea, this is what Pochettino said. We're posing the question, have Chelsea done enough to break into the top 4 this season? Mauricio Pochettino is backed Enzo Fernandez, Mudryk, Raheem Sterling, I forgot about him, to live up to their expensive price tag. But Chelsea's new head coach has warned his struggling stars that there will be no excuses for underperforming next season. Reports earlier this week suggested that the Blues were keen on a switch for the experienced Roma striker, Dybala, who could link up with fellow Argentinian Maurizio Pochettino at Stamford Bridge. I mean, he'd be an interesting addition, wouldn't he? And they have got the Lukaku situation. Would you bring him back? I personally wouldn't, but Inter Milan apparently going to make a new bid for him. There's interest from Saudi Arabia. There was talk of Juventus. Have Chelsea done enough, and what more would you want Chelsea to do? Keep those calls coming in, 037 1722 3344. We'll continue to take your calls after the break, but don't forget, Saturday the 5th of August, we'll see the game for Ukraine at Stamford Bridge, a game that is dedicated to help raise funds and awareness for the current situation in Ukraine, and to help reconstruct facilities that have suffered as a result of the invasion from Russia. It's an all-star lineup of players, including Andrei Shevchenko, Zinchenko, and the teams will be managed by Arsene Wenger and Emma Hayes. And talkSPORT are the main broadcasting partner for that. So you can be there too. Get your tickets from gameforukraine.com.